Welcome back to More Artistry on Earth. We are Cryptic Tattoo and Social Gallery in Springfield, Missouri. We are at Carnival of Ink 2025 here in Springfield, the Springfield Expo Center. And with me, I have a very special guest, a face and a name that many Carnival patrons are very familiar with. The face and voice itself, Mike Wallace.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm
Welcome
good.
back.
We're having a good day.
Yeah, thanks for taking the time, man. This is
I
really cool.
appreciate it. Yeah,
So,
it's fun.
There's quite a bit of a backstory. Everybody's anybody who's paying attention knows that your energy, your face, your voice. You're kind of the main promoter for Carnival of Ink. How did that kind of come together?
Yeah, I ended up head of promotions because. So I met Joe several years ago. I used to throw hip hop concerts, and Joe did metal concerts, and he did the carnival, and also. So I met Joe through doing concerts. We got along, we started collabing on concerts. We'd throw metal and hip-hop concerts together. And that's how we started working with each other. Well, I quit doing music because I had a daughter who was disabled, and I couldn't get out on weekends like I used to.
Oh, right.
And for about 2 years, I didn't do anything. And then Joe, which I used to come to Carnival Ink as a patron, just for fun.
Yeah.
And then Joe was like, hey, you're really good at promoting. Why don't you join the team? You can do most of it from home, and then like a few weekends a year come out.
That's a no-brainer, man. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm in.
Yeah.
And I've been here 4 years now.
Yeah.
Something about 4 years. It's been a blast.
Well, dude, and you've done a lot of work, and you put a lot of effort and footwork into just showing up for at least the local community. And I know it goes further than just local, but being a local kid, like you were one of the first people in this industry that when I got a part of it, that I really got to meet. You were like, hey, how you doing? I'm Wallace. I'm another Wallace.
Yeah.
Shaking hands and whatnot. You pop into our studio often. You always have updates and news. I mean, you put a lot of time and investment into like getting to kind of keeping track of the community, and it's freaking huge. I don't know if you knew that, so it's
not really. I'm just a people person.
Well, and that's great. That was my next question. It's like, is it exhausting? Is it tiresome? I mean, is it?
No, it's my personality. You see how loud I am.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm loud, and I just like talk to everybody. I've always been kind of a social butterfly. Like even growing up, my friends kind of stayed in the same friends group.
Yeah.
I didn't. I hung out with everybody.
You know I get that. I can relate to that.
So, like when I'm here, I don't know. I've just always liked people.
Yeah.
I always liked people, and that was kind of my thing. I've always been good at this part.
Yeah, the gift of gab.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
like,
I understand.
You know, I wouldn't say like a hustler, because I'm not good at like taking stuff from people that don't.
That makes sense, right?
But I'm good.
You
at,
put in the work, but
I'm good at selling stuff that is worth selling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we're selling.
So you would be filthy stinking rich, but you put you're an investor more than a taker.
I always said if it was, I can't say that. I'm not gonna say that on your camera. If it wasn't for certain things, I would be rich.
Well, so when you put on hip hop concerts, you were an actual rap artist yourself.
I
right?
did do rap, yes.
So that was
too much entertainment.
Too much entertainment.
Yeah.
So how much of that experience, and how long did you do that? But like, how much of that experience kind of translates into how you work and operate here?
It's almost the exact same.
Is it?
So yeah, I kind of, just like I got into this industry, I actually accidentally got into the rap industry. My buddy asked me if I'd perform on stage with him. And I was like, he's like, everybody knows you already, dude. You'll have one line. I remember the line. It's, now it's pounds, raking cake up in piles. That's it. That's the only line I had the whole time they was performing.
Right on.
And it was so fun that I was like, I want to do it again. So I would go and kind of be his hype man. And then everybody kept going, when are you coming out with a song? And I was like, I'm not a rapper.
I'm not. I fooled you.
I'm not a rapper, bro. And finally he's like, you got to do a song. And I'll write it for you. I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to write it.
Yeah.
So we made a couple of songs, and they kind of took off. And then the next thing you know, I'm touring with, Juicy J, and touring with Lil White, and doing videos with Jelly Roll. And It was all kind of by accident, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But like I also threw my own concerts. So I knew if you went to other people's concerts, and rap, they don't pay rap artists, locals.
No, I've been in the music scene in other areas, and yeah, that's familiar.
So
That's-
we was like, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna make money off it. So I just went straight to throwing my own concerts.
Yeah, dude.
No, so I don't want. Yeah, no, I was like, we're not doing that.
Right.
We're bringing a crowd. We're not performing for free. So instead of doing other people's events, which we did sometimes, or
Sure,
friends'
sure,
events,
yeah.
I just started promoting and doing my own, and they did really well.
They did really well, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. It's amazing
yeah.
what happens when you pay your freaking staff. Like you pay
Yeah.
your people, you know.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's admirable, man. And I I know that's a huge change, with your daughter and everything. That was a huge decision to make, and I'm glad that you're able to translate your life experience into other things.
It was hard. It was hard for a little while. I'm used to it now. I'm happy with. Plus, I'm older.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
there's a part of me that's like I'm a little less extroverted than I used to be.
I'm
maybe
45. I don't mind. I don't mind going to work and sitting at home. You know,
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not too bad. It's not too bad. So, yeah. So yes, it crosses over. So instead of so basically, when I threw concerts, we were headliners. We were just selling ourselves.
Right.
And I'm out selling tickets, and I'm selling. Now we're selling you guys.
Yeah,
That's basically what we're doing.
yeah.
Is we're
You find it just as easy to invest in others than it was
it's
it's
super easy.
And
you know
that's,
what I mean?
and I think that's a lot of big reason why we do the podcast is like yeah, we're pretty cool. Like I mean, obviously we're cool, but like there's just a lot of really even cooler people that, like let's talk about them. Let's see what happens when they get a moment to, just for once to talk about themselves. And it's like especially people that really put a lot of work into making us look cool, like look
It's.
like cool kids.
I'll tell you what. It's cool that the tattoo artists have accepted me into their industry, because I am not a tattoo artist.
Joe says the same thing.
So
He's
So I've always look, and this is the controversial one. I'll bring it up though.
okay.
I'm not scared.
Some hot tea. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So some people will say that people who are not artists shouldn't be in the industry, and then I could come back and be like, I could say the same thing about promoters.
Yeah, but every industry has a
But-
network of people that work other aspects of it.
So it'd be stupid for me to tell you you can't be a promoter because you're an artist.
No, and in fact, ask any artist, ask any professional, and I come from a handful of different, like a few other industries, and you can ask any of them in animation, in game design, in publication, comics, and graphic novels. You can ask artists in any one of them, what is one thing, if you could go back and spend your time learning, what was one thing that you would go back and learn? And there was business, promotion, marketing. That is one thing, because you want to think that being an incredibly talented artist in any field would be enough, that your work would speak for you. And
it does to a point.
It does, but that's only 1/3 of
You
like
have
a
to sell
3-piece pie.
yourself.
If you can't talk about yourself and sell yourself, you're putting it in the hands of luck. And I am a fortunate person, but I'm not lucky. So, I have privilege,
Listen,
but I'm not lucky to just be discovered, and it's a different world.
I have literally watched people in past shows. It's gotten better, but people who are not good at promoting themselves,
You're right.
that were good artists, and I went and sat in their booths and pulled people for them and tried to show them how.
Would you consider doing like a full-on like seminar, like with? I would love to have you over at the studio, set up a microphone, and have you do like a public seminar on promotion and marketing. This is a question that we were wanting to ask you. I can edit this out of the camera. You don't have to answer now.
No,
But
I mean,
but this is valuable information that even my people in Clever Kaiju would love to know. Like,
I've never even thought about that.
Because when I was a kid, it's like my work will speak for me. If it doesn't take off, if it doesn't launch, it must be because I'm not good enough. I'll just have to try harder.
It's not.
And I realize now, it's like maybe I was good enough a long time ago. I just didn't know how to talk about it. And
Listen,
it makes a big difference.
I told some of these guys, I was like, some of y'all are lucky I'm not a tattoo artist, because I would be. I would be.
You wouldn't even have to be good.
I'd be booked forever.
That's what I mean. There are in every industry there are garbage artists who just know how to talk about it.
They're good at it.
That's the hustle.
It's really so. Instead of like hustling people, so like I know everybody says it's a hustle, but hustling people feels like you're doing something wrong.
It's a grungy word.
You
Sure.
you got to actually care about the people at the same
Exactly.
time. So
Yeah.
like if you come off fake, like
Right.
if anybody thought I was being fake, I wouldn't be able to do this.
Right, because then you have to hold up. You have to maintain that, and
You
that's,
can't.
that's
yeah,
exhausting.
You can't come in. You can't come in this and not be who you are,
Right,
and then
right. 'Cause
try.
over time, you know. Yeah.
They're gonna catch your front.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I didn't care about these people and actually, do the things I was about, then I wouldn't be as good at this.
I believe you, and
know what I
I
mean?
understand that. Yeah.
They would have ran me off a long time ago. You could catch a fake.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, this is the big reason why we wanted to have you on, at least for a few minutes. Take some time for you. I would love to actually have you at actual Cryptic and actually spend a good solid hour with you and
I'm
kind of pick
down.
your brain. But I mean, I really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
much love. Thank
Is
you
there
for all
anything
your
else
hard work.
you need to know?
I mean, yes, but we'll keep it short for now. Just kind of. And then we'll bring it back in and do a full-on
Appreciate
episode
it.
with you. We'll fine-tune it. But again, Mike Wallace, the face and voice, the promoter of Carnival of Ink. We are here at Carnival at the Expo Center here in Springfield, Missouri until tomorrow, Sunday.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, come out, and then also follow them.
yeah. Much
Watch
love, man.
their
Thank you so
podcast.
much. I
Yep.
appreciate you.
All right,
You're
brother.
awesome.